Iqbal, a critical study by Misbahul Haq Siddiqui. The first edition was published in 1977. Iqbal, in his thought, has prescribed a methodology for the revival of Islam, which needs to be understood by the modern Muslims. One thing must be remembered: whatever Iqbal says must be understood in the light of the Quran. Everything else must be set aside. Anything contradicting the views of the Quran must be discarded, no matter if it is from Rumi or Ibn al-Arabi. The fundamental basis of Iqbal's thought is Khudi, which has to be understood as the conscious self and not merely the self. Self without consciousness is nothing. Iqbal was a man of versatile genius, and history has few, if any, parallel of a man possessing so many qualities of head and heart. I will not die, as I have become immortal on account of having scattered seeds of poetry, said the great epic poet of Iran, Abul Qasim Hussain Mansoor Firdausi, the author of Shahnama. These words are equally true of the great poet, philosopher of Pakistan, Allama Iqbal. While Islam is a religion of action, inertia had overwhelmed the Muslims. Iqbal therefore appeared in the role of a reformer and gave a call to wake and to strive. Iqbal reminded the Muslims that life is a persistent onward struggle for existence, and as soon as one ceases to move, one ceases to exist, because without action, one entire physical existence loses all meaning and significance. Those that moved on carried all before them. Those that lingered were destroyed. Where there is no motion, there is no life, and life being a persistent struggle for survival, rest is forbidden, for death lives hidden in rest. Therefore, the worst that can befall a man is a loss of action. If I move on, I live on. If I move not, I cease to live. Thus, man is the arbiter of his own fate. The verses of the Holy Quran also amply testify to this fact, and that is why, due to the inaction and lack of initiative, the Muslims became an object of pity, despite the fact that in the pages of the Holy Book there are good tidings for them. Iqbal also explains the dangerous consequences of depending merely on science for guiding and regulating life. He believes that man cannot lead his life with peace in the cold regions of an intellectualism. For this end, he needs the warmth of love and intuition also. Iqbal recognizes the importance of scientific knowledge, but is fully aware of the fact that this knowledge is by nature sectional. It cannot, if it is true to its own nature and function, set up its theories as a complete view of reality. There is, however, another path to knowing man's secret. This path is not that of thought, but that of love. The act of love transcends thought. Iqbal firmly believes that neither science alone, nor philosophy, nor psychology can give upward looking and light to a despairing humanity. The modern age needs a religion, which in its higher manifestation is neither dogma, nor priesthood, nor ritual. Iqbal once said, "My own age does not understand my meaning. I am the voice of the poet of tomorrow." Love is the root of all that Iqbal wants to preach is. Javed Nama, Iqbal describes how accompanied, in fact led by Rumi, he flew from planet to planet and narrates what he saw and how he felt there. For Iqbal, life had a meaning and a purpose. He discovered that meaning and that purpose in the system of values, self-impact, self-contained monastic philosophy of Islam. Iqbal, after considering all the pros and cons of life, put forward his theory of Khudi, self, being, ego, etc. The underlying idea was to bring home to the Muslims the dignity of their being, which had been jeopardized by the forces of imperialism. Iqbal has to struggle with the forces of materialistic thoughts